في أكبر الكتب.
Congratulations, you have found the Lambcast, the official podcast of the large association of movie blogs, also known as the Lamb. The Lamb is the largest collective of online movie blogs and podcasts with 2,000 members and counting. Every week on the Lambcast, various members of the Lamb community get together to talk about our favorite subject, movies. So bookmark the Lamb and follow us on social media. Be sure to join us each week to hear a lively discussion of films and movie-related talk from our members. Join the flock at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lambcast. This is episode 793, and I'm your host, Richard Kirkham from Kirkham A Movie A Day. It's December, and when the movie of the month comes around this time of year, we always choose a holiday film to commemorate Christmas. In the past, we've had such heartwarming Christmas fare as Die Hard, Batman Returns, Anna and the Apocalypse. It's my fault that there wasn't a movie of the month poll for all of you to choose from, just a slip up in timing. So from the 4 movies that had been put forward, an executive decision was made, and much in keeping with the previous examples of December's movie of the month, I selected Santa Jaws as this year's entry into our holiday festival. In case you hadn't guessed, this movie is about a killer shark at Christmas time, and he's possessed by an evil Santa. That's right, my friends. You can get out your corn chips because there's plenty of cheesy sauce ready to be distributed. This movie may be the cheesiest film we've covered on the Lambcast, but you'll have to make that decision for yourself. Joining me on our charcuterie board with our 4 lambs of different cheese preferences, they're here to serve you this holiday meal. Jeanette Ward from The Mundane Adventures of a Fangirl. Would you say this film was Gouda or not so Gouda?
Absolutely Gouda. An entire charcuterie board full of Gouda and assorted other cheeses.
Thank you for the follow-up. I love that. Matthew Simpson of the Awesome Friday podcast and assorted publications from around the world. Did this movie taste like a nice brie to you, or did it seem like debris?
I don't have a good pun for this, but it's definitely brie that's just gone off.
Aaron Neuwirth, one of 2 black guys who talk about Godzilla. Did this movie make you feel blue?
I wouldn't quite say it stank like Lumberger, but I certainly would have put it at the top of one of my drafts.
And Jay Cluitt from Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, almost certainly has covered Santa Jaws on his water-related podcast themes. I'm afraid this may be, I think we may be fed up with these kinds of movies.
Never. This is the best shark movie being discussed on the Lambcast this year, I think, easily. It is Deep Blue Brie, the podcast.
All right, Deep Blue Brie, yes, excellent. Cheese puns aside, some people are enthusiastic about the film. Let's see if all of them are on this show.
It's a sci-fi best.
It's a Sci-Fi Channel horror film about a boy who's an aspiring comic book artist, and he wishes his family gone for Christmas, but suddenly one of his drawings comes to life and starts killing off his family members one by one. Does that sound like Christmas cheer to you? We'll find out. We're going to start with our general thoughts, and we'll get to some more specific ideas later on. But Jeanette, I always like to start with you because I'm a sexist, and I think of allowing ladies to go first. It's the right thing to do, and I'm old school. So what did you think of this movie?
Honestly, this is one where I watched it the day it aired on Sci-Fi Channel, I believe in 2018, and I think I've watched it since then, and so watching it again last night, what a delight. It's not as strong as some of the other sci-fi creature features, and I think mainly because not everybody in the movie is on exactly the same page. A lot of people really get the tone and they're committed. Movies like this need one straight man. You need one Finn Shepherd, and then you need everyone else around you to go big and go silly. There's a couple of people who get that. Not everybody does, but I feel like everyone's game. Everyone's trying. The effects, and we can talk about this. I kind of wanted more Santa Jaws action from this. There's not enough of Santa Jaws because, man, is he decked. My mistake. They very clearly state that Santa Jaws is a lady.
Get it right.
She's once she's in full regalia, gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. Red eyes, like Rudolph's nose, a Santa hat on her dorsal fin. Is that where a shark would wear a Santa hat? Let's discuss that later on. And the lights wrapped around the tail, and the mystical fact that whenever she decides to show up, she jingle bells. I love it. I wanted more of the shark itself. There's too many people in this shark movie for me, but overall, it's super fun. You know what you're getting when you go into a movie called Santa Jaws, and it delivers that. It doesn't go above that, but it delivers that.
Well, I'd agree with you with the notion that all these people are trying. They were certainly trying me for 89 minutes. Aaron, are you as enthusiastic about the film as Jeanette was, or did you have some qualms?
Did I have qualms? A few. I would say Jeanette's reading of the film is entirely accurate. Whether that means I enjoyed the film is a different story. I didn't. I As we go through the film and describe elements of it, I'm sure I'll have more to say. But I will say that when I realized this was Death Note, but with a shark, I was like, "Oh, that's not a thing you expect all the time." So I was like, maybe this is gonna win me over more than I expected to as a one of many sci-fi shark movies. But ultimately, the issue I had is largely what Jeanette said. It just doesn't do enough of the actual Santa Jaws in a movie called Santa Jaws for me to appreciate more of what it had to offer. It has people on camera. I don't know if actors is the word for them, but it has people on camera making a lot of choices. And some were bigger choices than others, but there's so many of them, and I cared so little for them. Not even in like I hope they kind of get it sort of way, but just more of like a can we reduce this so we can just get to the good stuff, please? And it took a long time to make that reduction effort. So yeah, I wanted more action out of this. I wanted it to be frankly goofier because again, when it's just
Hmm.
people making choices and not like actors of note to some degree, like leaning into the absurdity of it all. Some do, but there's just not enough fun to be had when it's just like what I got here. So, is there a movie that I was intrigued by to a degree? Sure, because I, in general, enjoyed the setup of this and what it was going for. Execution wise, I could have used more executions to make this a stronger film.
I like that. Speaking of absurdity, we have Jay Cluitt back on the show. Jay,
There he
this
is,
is a
Mr.
film that
Absurd.
you are deep on, right? So tell us what your deep thoughts are.
Not a very deep film, actually. It ends up being above surface level,
It's pretty shallow, yeah.
depth-wise. It is. So I've watched a lot of shark movies, as I'm sure you know, or if
What?
you've been on the podcast. I know it's shocking. This is different from most of the other shark films I watch. This has a unique premise, and that is why I enjoy it because it is something different to the other shark films, which are like, a random group of teens trapped on a raft. There's a shark sometimes you see now and then. Those are irritating, and I don't like them. This is different. This is you said Death Note, Aaron. To me, my reference is Penny Crayon, which is a British TV show, animated show from the late 80s and 90s about a girl called Penny who had a crayon, and whatever she drew came to life. I watched that as a kid, and when I heard the premise of Santa Claus, it's Penny Crayon, but with a shark, fantastic. Sign me up. My issue with Santa Claus is they don't do enough with that premise. They create a Christmas themed shark. Fantastic. Here for it. When it comes to dispatching the shark towards the end, I'm just furious with with the limited imagination of the kid trying to dispatch this shark and how to do it, and then the very final like Deus Ex Machina. I won't reveal what it is, but is so half-assed. So
Yes.
like, oh yeah, this will work, and it's that's of all the you could draw anything, you could create anything and bring it in and make a climax out of that, and you decided to just not. It was a little frustrating, a little disappointed. But yeah, this is my second time watching. I got to thank Lisa Leahy, friend of the show, for introducing me to Santa Jaws, which she also watched day one with Jeanette on the Sci-Fi Channel, and we covered it on Deep Sea the podcast 4 years ago. At this point, I was thrilled to go back and watch it.
At
So
some
yes.
point, we're going to have to talk about what all of those other alternatives would be. I'm seeing, drawing a shark cage and extracting the shark from the ocean and putting it in a department store, like I said, and having the kids come up and tell Santa Jaws their wishes for Christmas.
Just draw a invincible Santa Jaws eating giant seahorse. You could do anything at all. Just anything at
A
all.
Santa giant squid, a
Yeah.
Santa giant, or just a Santa giant bigger shark leading to your sequel. There's so many options.
Which you put a little tag on it saying, upon eating a Santa Jaws, this thing disappears. And then it's not a problem. Just so many this is a magic pen. This is a magic pen. Where did it come from? Doesn't matter. Germany, it seems. But
Jay, calm down.
no, I want Santa Jaws to be better.
You
I
want
love
the
it so
sequel,
much, and I want
Santa
that to make sense.
Joctopus.
Exactly.
Oh,
See?
Santa Joctopus. Hmm.
Christmas
We can
Kraken.
we can
I mean,
workshop that.
they
Christmas
write
Kraken.
themselves.
Better.
Yeah, Christmas Kraken's definitely better.
All right, Matthew, let's hear your crackers. What did you think about this particular film?
I I don't think anything that has been said is incorrect. I didn't really, I wouldn't go so far to say that I liked it, but it really did trigger something for me in that, like, it really felt like the kind of movie that I used to find on like late night TV when I was 12 and my parents were asleep. You'd stay up until like midnight or 1 in the morning and there'd be some weird BS schlock on TV. And this reminded me very much of that. And so for that, I can't help but at least appreciate it. Um, but my like, yeah, there's not enough of the shark. The kills aren't gory or ridiculous enough. It's not goofy enough. You can tell that they've made the movie with like $12, which gives it a certain
Gross.
charm. Um, but well, just 12 is objectively the funniest number, so that's just a thing.
They were paid scale.
Yeah. Uh, um, yeah, it's just sort of like it's not enough. It's not serious enough and or goofy enough for its own material. And then I very much agree with Jay that like he has a magic pen. They could have resolved this so many times in so many ways. Like, yes, draw a giant octopus, or just draw a gun and say this one can kill Santa Jaws. Like, there's just so many things they could have done. Um, but like it's very sweet. You can tell that like the people who are, I think Jeanette also hit it too, that like some of the people involved are very committed in exactly the right way, and some of the people are also there. And that is sort of diminishes it a little bit. So I really wanted to like this. I really wanted to love it, and I feel like it's a love it or hate it movie, and I didn't, which is I'm going to contradict myself because I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I just landed on like pretty solid, like
We got a
near
false
miss.
dichotomy going on here.
I'd argue unless you're someone like Jay who's Mr. Absurd, as we've established, it's either a hate it or hate it less movie as opposed to
Yeah, I suppose the way to put it for me is that I think it's a very near miss. Like it's very close to being exactly the right kind of bad, but it just misses it for me. But I still appreciate that it exists.
Yeah.
That's kind of the position I'm taking too. This does not live up to its title. Santa Jaws is so intriguing, such a funny concept, and I'm looking forward to enjoying the ridiculousness of it. And it never really becomes ridiculous. It just becomes a shark movie with this affectation to it, and that's as much as there is to it. They're not leaning into the, like you said, the goofiness that goes on here, the silliness. The closest they come to that is when the shark gets impaled on a candy cane and becomes a unicorn shark. And I'm
No.
going,
Sure.
we needed more of that,
Yeah.
more silliness to make this premise more interesting. Otherwise, it's just a badly made shark movie, and there are plenty of those that are better. And when Matthew said it looked like it was made on a $12 budget, obviously, eight of those dollars went to paying for the special effects, and the other four went for paying the actors.
No, the other four went to the box of Christmas ornaments.
Oh yeah, maybe that's
Those
it.
are not cheap.
The actors are all volunteers, which would explain things. I watched the opening of the movie when they have the evil Santa confronting the
Mhm.
villain and or the heroes confronting the evil Santa, and I'm watching this and going, boy, is this bad? Is it supposed to be deliberately this bad? And then I see, oh, they're kind of making up this story in the comic book. I said, "Oh, so it's intentionally bad acting." And then I watched 5 more minutes of the movie. I said, "Nope, that's the way it's going to be for the next 80 minutes."
I did enjoy that Santa, the Feliz Navidad tattoos on the arms. I missed that the first 2 times around. Really enjoyed it this time around.
See you in Jingle Hell is fun.
Some great stuff in that cold open, I guess.
I guess you
I
would call
don't-
it that.
I don't know what it is. I can always tell when that's a fake film. When it's in a film and it starts out in a film, it's always
not hard.
Yeah, but okay, it's not a superpower. It turns out fine.
Nobody's going to give you extra credit for that. Sorry about that.
Well, even like a film like this where I don't expect the production values to suddenly rise, I'm like, well, this is not a real movie. This is just nonsense.
Exactly. Can we, I know that it takes place in Port City. Is
Yes.
it Florida?
The famous port
It's
city.
shot in Louisiana.
Okay, all right, thank you. I don't know if that clears anything up, but I was curious.
It's certainly spelled things out for a lot of people now that we've established that it's in Louisiana, not Florida. Now it makes more sense.
Exactly.
Now I just want some more of the characters to have had thick Southern/Louisiana accents.
Why
Oh,
wasn't
too
there a
fun.
dude, deep in the... Yeah, there's so many... The
Why wasn't
opportunities
Grandpa
that exist in
Cajun,
this.
you know?
Exactly. Why wasn't he? He does wake the kid up to go fishing at 5 a.m. Couldn't he have been some bayou caricature?
And
It's a
then
real
they
missed
could have-
opportunity.
And they could have had the pen could have been, Bayou Magic, blah blah. Like there's so many
Yeah.
opportunities.
Voodoo magic. Yeah, there
This
you go.
movie would gain a full star if everybody, including the kid, had like harsh accents to really play up the atmosphere they're in.
That's the biggest tragedy of Santa Jaws is that the potential it had and didn't live up to, the options we think of that we're not getting. That's the disappointment with it. And we'll get there, but the solve of this where it resets the day instead of when he writes out the end of Santa Jaws, why all of the people, because Santa Jaws disappears on the dock, why are not all of the people that Santa Jaws ate just laid out on the dock then? That's what I want.
Let's get back to this in a second. I will say, basically, I want everyone to sound like Gambit in this movie. That's what I wanted.
Oh, sure.
But
the director, Misty Talley, had just done Mississippi River Sharks the year before this.
Yep.
So maybe she was moving away from...
she got shark fatigue. She got
Maybe.
Cajun
Well,
accent fatigue.
She got Cajun
I think so,
accent.
perhaps.
Wait,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Hang on. She did a
Mississippi
different
River
bad
Shark.
shark movie the year before.
This
was
is her
her.
fourth.
It
What
was
is her
the
fourth?
These.
It was the Mississippi grind of shark movies.
She did Shark Island, then Ozark
would watch
Sharks,
that.
Mississippi
I would
River
watch that.
Sharks, Santa Jaws, and it's
Ozark-
interesting. She's also an editor. Missy Talley is, I find it interesting in her career. Like she made shark movies, then she made Santa Jaws, and since then she's worked on a lot of Christmas movies. So Santa Jaws is like the Venn diagram intersection
gateway.
of her two halves of her career.
Yeah,
And she's also one of the talking heads on Sharksploitation, if you've seen that documentary. And
she
she's
is, yeah.
excellent.
I do remember her from that, and that did spark when you said Santa Jaws was the movie. Like, oh, good, I can finally see Santa Jaws based on what I've heard about her from the Sharksploitation film. Getting back to Jeanette, your desire to have bodies splayed about or whatnot. That is the big. This is ultimately the biggest issue with the movie. If you're making a shark movie, I don't care if it's a Hallmark level Christmas themed shark film. Don't make it TV PG. I want to see Santa Jaws fucking murdering people. I want to see real impale him being
I
people
needed more red
impaled.
shirts.
I want to see like Santa Jaws jumping out on like a sleigh or something and biting a head off people. I want to see blood. I want to see red. Santa Claus is red. Give me the red deaths. Don't give me like guy gets swallowed whole.
Well,
Boring. Give me
he
death.
gums
Off
mom
screen.
to death.
Yeah.
Off-screen deaths. That's
There's a
not
lot-
what we're here
yeah.
for.
No, thank you. I want to see some real Santa carnage.
Yeah, it was every...
That would
there's
require
a
an
dozen-
additional budget for
Oh, no, wait, I
going to
wrote
the
it down.
butcher shop and getting some
How many
viscera.
Sharknado movies did I get where like fucking Frankie Muniz is like losing all of his limbs over
All
here?
of
We
his
can spend a
limbs.
little extra
Yeah.
money on some Santa
gotta-
Jaws bloody goodness.
This is a film that can't afford extras. There's no background characters in
No,
any
there's
scene of the
nine.
film.
There's
No,
nine
so-
people in the movie, and we spend time with all of them. And the
You-
one dude dressed as an elf is the stunt coordinator. So that
You guys
Yeah.
sound
count.
crazy. Louisiana is famously unbusy during the holidays.
Everyone's preparing for the boat
Especially at the
parade.
port, you know.
That's right, the
Famously.
boat parade. We heard so much about the boat parade. We can't call the cops. They're setting
We
up for
never
the
go to
parade.
the fireworks
We can't
factory.
do this. We have to go down to the restaurant that's set up for the boat parade. We have to
You
do
didn't.
this
You
for
didn't see
boat
the
parade.
scenes
Let's do
where
this.
the where his
see a
annoying
single-
best friend he wrote in his comic book and nobody was there that day. He wrote it on every single page. That's why there was that. That's why it was all empty.
We saw no evidence of a boat parade. The comic book store party had one person
No.
and then one other person that was drawn in.
Yeah.
Who didn't have any lines because
We
they
needed
probably
Yeah,
couldn't
because he
more-
drew her that way.
Yes.
So
So he wouldn't have to talk to her.
they
In-
couldn't
in the-
afford
in-
to give her a speaking part.
In the realm of treatment of women in this movie, a very important
Hmm.
and non-subtle part of this film, I was amused by the influencer aunt who
Yep.
was in the bikini, and then like when she's finally away from the port, she's still wearing just a bikini top. which was
Everyone else is
like-
wearing sweaters. That's why I was like, where is this set? I don't understand what the
when they
temperature
get to like
is.
they get to the comic book store, and I think my note says she's still in a bikini.
Oh, so I have a serious question here because
You're on the wrong podcast.
well, no, this is very important because I actually thought she was wearing lingerie and not a bikini, which is somehow moderately worse. Like it's a lacy. Like my wife walked in on. I was watching this movie. My wife walked in the room and she was like, "Why is that woman in her underwear?" And I was like, "I don't know."
In Louisiana,
It
the
was-
the
Santa
aisle for
Jaws.
bikini and lingerie are the same, so sometimes they cross over. You know, you get a
Yeah.
top and a top and a bra and a bra.
It was one of those bikinis where when you buy it, the label says "Do not wear in water."
Yeah, sure.
will
Yeah.
melt.
Well, yeah, it's made of yarn. Do not wear in water. And I was gonna say every woman in this movie, but honestly, every character in this movie is one thing. Everyone gets one character trait. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get more. You get one. And like, yes, the influencer aunt is the ditz. The Uncle Mike, he is business. Comes in with generic business phone call, doing business on the phone. Has
The
to
parents
stop the
are
conversation
assholes,
to do business.
apparently.
Yes. Well, the mother is angry. The father is
They for-
concerned.
They
The
forgot to
track
give the
star
brother
is
anything.
a track star. That's all she does. She runs track. Nothing else. The sidekick best friend is goofy. You know, everyone
Annoying.
gets one.
Can we?
The
Not fair.
yeah, the brother got nothing.
The girl runs track and has minor alluded to daddy issues. So there's technically like one and a half things.
That's why she
And
runs
she
track.
kinda likes
She's
comic
she's
books.
running
And
away from her
comics, yeah.
problems. I love that the comic book aspect of this is so funny because the comic book store owner becomes ostensibly the sub villain in this film
He
at
does.
one point,
Yeah.
which is like
Sure.
didn't
The
see that
B
coming.
plot.
And also, a lot of the plot hinges around the fact that the track star came into the comic shop and he just randomly gave her the comic book because plot reasons.
Exactly.
It
Yeah, a bizarre thing to have happened.
I do
yeah, he's
feel like
trying
though
to-
She's
Go
a
ahead,
regular,
sorry.
So I
even though
actually
she's
think
new
that's-
in town.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually think that's
He's trying to
somewhat.
make her a regular.
But I'm actually somewhat think that's believable because he's obviously a douchebag and a sleazebag who wants to have beautiful women around, and this beautiful young woman is like, "I'm interested in comics." He's like, "Here, take this one, and please, for the love of God, come back."
Here's
I'm not
here's a
desperate at
comic
all.
that's not at all published, isn't
Or
real,
finished.
is no way famous. Like,
It's not finished.
nothing
No.
to
Missing,
impress
like,
you
the
by this.
end.
It's,
No
it's,
end.
it's
Yeah.
amateur hour city right here. Take this, please, and be
Yeah.
impressed.
This is the kind of
didn't say he
caliber
was-
of material we have available.
Fair enough. No,
I didn't
you're
say
not
he was
wrong.
good
man.
at it.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was. I didn't say he was good at it. I
You're
just
not
said he's
wrong.
trying desperately.
I also love the initial set or the action setup of this is Grandpa gets killed by Santa Jaws, and the kid's reaction is to go home and be like, "Grandpa died," and the amount of effort he put into explaining our family's grandfather he's been eaten alive by not just an animal, a shark ate him. He's dead. It's Christmas Eve and this guy is gone out of our lives. This
Yeah.
kid is like, they got grandma.
And
It
the
was-
parents'
they do
reaction
it.
is
And
all
the
based
parents are
on
like-
the boy who cried wolf,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
apparently he's made up stories before, and
In the
so his
past.
parents
And they're like,
can't
don't
be
drag
bothered to walk
grandpa
in the
into
other room and
this.
see if Grandpa's still asleep.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
woke me up early. We went fishing. Don't you dare involve your grandpa in the discussion. No, I'll not check on grandpa before we all of us except him leave for the day to go on our our boat parade trip or whatever the fuck.
We have to open the restaurant for the boat parade, and older brother whose one thing is baseball.
We will leave Grandpa here at the house, and we will not check on him.
They've got to go and get the three smallest turkeys in the world out of the oven.
There's so I needed this to be goofier. There was so many. The turkey bit that could have been hilarious and just wasn't.
I mean, I could back up for 1 second. Again, you're selling these characters short because the older brother character is baseball, but he's also resents being only baseball.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He is
As the jocks be nerds, heart to heart.
They handed him his script and wrote on the top baseball and then circled it twice, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring layers to baseball.
Conflicted baseball.
Yeah. I'm going to circle this in a different color. That's what
Baseball question mark?
The comic book store owner, that's kind of the tone he brought to it. That's the tone I kind of wanted everybody on. That guy was bizarre. I wrote it down, the best line in the movie when the parents come in with a gun, be like, where is our son? He's usually here. His response of, Cody's at the marina with his friends. They think the shark from his comic book came to life and they're going to go fight it. That's it. Yeah. Perfect. The whole movie.
I mean, it makes sense to me. That's just like perfectly delivered exposition. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't tell if I appreciate the magic bit of this movie or I didn't want the magic bit. I like when Santa Claus adds more Christmas to her outfit throughout the movie, and I think I wanted that to continue.
Yeah.
Richard, I mean, I'm not hearing too much of your opinions on this, so I just want to know, when did you stop realizing this wasn't going to be an A+ movie?
Oh, I knew it, 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, I said, I know what this wants to be.
After the action movie spoof, you're watching that, and you're like, this is great.
No, I'm watching that going, this is terrible, and I'm going, but there may be a purpose to it.
Okay,
but then I discovered that there wasn't really a purpose to it. It's just as bad.
But when did you decide it wasn't going to be a C+ movie?
Pretty much about the same time. Look, it's not seaworthy. They stay in the port the whole time, so they're not out there in the ocean chasing it. You didn't like that one?
I said "Heyo."
What could we have been talking about? Richard, what could we have been talking about today? What did you pick Santa Jaws over?
Yeah, what are the three movies that we didn't pick?
Oh, I knew somebody was going to ask that question. Black Christmas was one.
What?
Haven't seen.
No, not Black Christmas, Black Friday. Black Friday. Let me look.
It's just called Friday.
What? Black Friday.
I got Aaron. I got him.
Oh no.
That's not my joke. That's the name of the damn movie.
That's Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla approved. Black.
It's not a Robinson Crusoe reference.
Oh, there is a have I seen this one? The Black Friday movie? Isn't it like a?
It's Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, I have seen this movie.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not very good.
No, it's not very good at all.
What are the other ones?
Let me. The other ones are straightforward: A Christmas Story and Klaus.
Oh, these are all bangers. Christmas Story is so good that I have to defend liking Christmas Story. That's where I'm at.
It's not great. I prefer Santa Claus to Christmas Story.
Yeah, where you would.
So I made the right choice from Jay's perspective.
That was when you get the bends, Jay, for being underwater too long.
And it seems to me like we talked about Klaus recently on another show, so it just felt a little repetitive. And I
Klaus
said,
rocks.
And Santa Jaws did seem to have some enthusiasm for it. So
I'm happy I watched this movie. Let's not. If we need to stretch this another 20 minutes, let's do so, because we need the Santa Jaws worked out.
Legitimately, half the fun of talking about it is talking about the changes we would have made. Ending this by drawing in a larger Christmas-themed aquatic animal to fight Santa Jaws. That's a huge miss.
Yeah. Clampus. That was my pitch.
Christmas seals.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, these are all excellent ideas. Let's go back to because I do want to talk about this. The fact that Santa Claus is wearing her Santa hat on her dorsal fin. I feel like it should be on her head, not on her dorsal fin. But then, of course, how would she keep it on?
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Also, how would we then know that when she's stalking towards someone and her dorsal fin is out of the water? How would
And
we
she's
know?
not just any other shark.
Yeah,
you'd be
she
like,
could
oh,
be any
that's
shark.
just
You
a
gotta have
regular
something
shark.
identifiable.
I admit
I have
it.
no
That
qualms of being bitten by this. It's just a regular shark.
Yeah.
I love the fact that her tail was wrapped in Christmas lights and that she used them as a lasso at one point, and I
I
wanted
like
more
that.
from that.
I
Yeah,
like that
I was
Like
going
a
to
ball
I really
rod.
wanted more of the lasso acts. Like I wanted her to use the Christmas accoutrement
Yes.
more.
Yeah, this should have been like Predator Badlands, where he learns to use the environment to his advantage. The Santa Claus should have been exactly like what I'm saying, Predator Badlands.
The lights should have been flashing every time somebody
Every
got
time.
eaten.
And we should have been able to see them coming from a distance the same way we saw the hat and heard the bells. Why were there
Oh.
bells? Doesn't matter. Let's not get into it. Yes,
So-
when her teeth get removed and she replaces them with shards of broken glass Christmas ornaments. Yes,
when
that's
when
what I
they
wanted.
when they take out one of her eyes, I was hoping that the eye would be sentient, so Santa Claus would be able to see everything they're doing through the eye that they removed.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Or it just
'cause
stays
that's-
lit and they could fight it in the dark, but that would
Whatever-
require
whatever the
some
case,
director of photography who can
Yeah.
shoot in the dark.
I just
Yeah,
like the
it'd be
idea of
great night
Santa,
scenes.
Santa Claus like strategizing, like I know what they're doing. that's my first like
The Toy Story 3 Mrs. Potato Eye,
exactly that.
basically. Yeah, okay.
Also, I do admire that because we're referencing Santa Claus as a her, of course. I like how progressive this movie is.
It's
Finally,
like Jurassic Park.
finally,
Well,
a
because
female Santa Claus. Can you handle it,
females are
America?
If you want a pig, you got to go female and shark.
Yeah, DBC.
I'm disappointed that she's not larger. Also, if it's going to be a female shark, it should be larger. If it's a great white in the rivers of Louisiana, maybe that's the issue.
Well,
yes, it's a bull shark. Is it?
I mean, I think
female
we're-
bull?
I
Yeah,
think we're
there's a
leaving room.
joke that
Well,
you missed in the rivers of Louisiana. Why is it not swallowing the license plate right there?
I think by not having a bigger Santa Claus now, we're leaving room for the sequel, Santa Claus 2, Mega Claus.
Santa
So I
Mega.
mean, yeah, we could always go bigger.
Yeah, but they say in the law for Santa Claus when
Go on.
Stephen drops it that when that she ate Santa or something and grew and doubled in size. That's dialogue from the film. Where
Yeah, but
there's
as
I
we've
didn't know
established
that.
in The Santa Claus, when Santa Claus dies, you just get a new Santa Claus. So I mean, there's another Santa Claus out there that could be even bigger.
I think that's why maybe I didn't need the magical pen aspect of this. I would have been fine if this was simply a large female bull shark that had a problem with this family, because of course, why not? But
Jeanette, how would it
gradually
know to be a
kept
Santa
accumulating.
Claus?
It would just keep accumulating Christmas-themed weapons and accoutrement based on the Christmas parade that we never got.
Jeanette,
Yeah, that's
your
just like,
version your version that
swims
doesn't
through the
include
river.
your version that doesn't include a magic pen doesn't make any sense. You sound like a fool.
And it's not limited to the family, of course, because we do get homeless Will Ferrell on the dock getting, his legs chewed off and then doing Dorf for 2 minutes.
You mean the stunt coordinator for the movie who came with his
Yes.
own
Yeah.
elf outfit and then did a
he's-
great stunt of walking on his knees?
He
Well,
Gary
holding his
Honestly,
hind leg.
yeah.
He Gary
Honestly,
Oldman.
my favorite kill in the entire movie is that one because it's just
Well, it's the only one that's
It's
like
different.
tries to be creative. It seems
Yeah.
like all the other ones are so generic. This is the only one that's like, oh, good,
Because
finally.
Santa
something.
Claus uses a boat to take that guy's legs and then
Yeah.
eat him.
I kept
it's
waiting
also
for
and
some-
just the right level. It's the right level of goofy as well. Like it's
Yes.
it's all the other
There you
ones
go.
are.
We
are
needed more of
looking
that.
forward.
I kept waiting for some kind of elf on the shelf type reference to emerge out of that, but they couldn't think of anything, and neither could I, for that matter.
That's
So
why
I don't
we
know how
needed the parade. We needed that boat parade, and it's a shame if you can't afford the Christmas boat parade. Please stop mentioning it because Santa Claus could have eliminated so many people from a Christmas boat parade. I'm so disappointed we didn't get to see pure carnage.
I mean, they would have needed at least like $15 to pull it off. Though,
There's got to be
Yeah.
B-roll that they could pull for a Christmas boat parade, and then they just do some inserts to make it work.
I feel like when
Yeah.
inevitably the Lamb organizes and decides to make our own terrible B movie, if you put out the call, in
Yeah,
a
we won't be
neighborhood,
doing Anaconda. We'll be doing
Here's
Santa
what we're
Jaws.
everyone who can come down and volunteer your time for the opportunity to be an extra in this movie where you're going to get eaten by a Christmas shark. I feel like you could pull together 30 to 40 people.
I think so. Yeah, there are filmmakers amongst the lamb.
Sooner or
That's like,
later, somebody's
that-
going to have the ambition to do it.
Yeah, so the elf kill is good. The only other one that's kind of slightly different is when Josh gets speared with the horn, which is it's there. They have to use it at some point, but
Yes.
it's still not as good. And that the horn, the narwhaling of the Santa Claus
Narwhaling,
is
yes.
that
I
is
like that.
my most frustrating point because like when they're talking about how do we kill this thing? Stab it, and they draw the horn going into it, and they don't draw the horn coming out of it with the Santa Claus heart on the end of it. It's
Correct.
like, it's just stuck in. It would have been very easy to have done. And I
when
get
that
it.
wooden pole striped like a candy cane, maybe, that ends up lodged in Santa Claus's head. Santa Claus, realizing now there's a pole in my head, is like, fine, this is now my weapon.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Santa
with this.
Claus, I needed more development from her as a character.
I love the candy cane shiv. That's great.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was
I
pretty
hated the grandfather having a thermos full of eggnog. That just
The amount
made
of
me
eggnog in
upset.
this movie. The amount of eggnog.
But in a thermos, do you know how hard that's going to be to clean?
Ew.
I was
But eggnog
concerned
is
by
better
that.
when it's warm. Like eggnog, like if you've had fresh homemade eggnog before, like that would, like warm is the way for it to be. So I'm okay with that.
I appreciate that, but
There are bottle brushes,
enjoying it in a
Jay. It's
thermos.
not that big a deal.
They are, but they're not good enough, Richard.
I mean,
They're
and
not
for
good
all
enough
you
for
know,
eggnog.
and for all you know, that was his eggnog thermos. So
That shouldn't be a thing.
That's not a
I'm sorry.
You don't have like a milk
Takes
jug
it out
that
annually.
you never clean. Like
Why did I say never clean it? I'm just saying that like you clean it and only put eggnog in it, so there's no other contaminants.
it's just hard to clean though. That's the thing. It's like,
just
Yeah.
look, this
It's
makes as
not
much
his
sense as
eggnog
literally
thermos.
anything else in the movie.
He says that he has another one. Once that one
Matthew,
gets
this
spilled
movie
into
is
the water, he's like, I
airtight
have another
except
one.
for this eggnog thermos. Okay, I don't know what you're
The
talking
thermos is
about.
I mean, if that were true, there wouldn't be two eggnog thermoses. So
right.
He has a backup because his grandson's with him in case he knocks it in the water like a fool, and he did. He did knock it in the water like a fool.
Well, and of course, that
Yeah.
spelled his undoing because, as you know,
Yeah.
Santa Claus is attracted to Christmas things, and once the
Yeah.
eggnog hits the water, it's all over.
I did enjoy we have to attract the shark by way of jazzy Christmas music. that's the only way to do it.
Yes,
License free.
license free.
Whatever
License
license-free
free
jazzy
music.
Christmas music.
That's right. Absolutely. And I like when, let's chum for Santa Claus, and it's eggnog and ornaments and candy canes. Yeah, that's Santa Claus chum. That's a clever bit that I didn't get enough of.
That sounds just chum.
Mm.
Could have used more Santa Claus puns. There were only one or two. Could have used more.
How do we feel of ho ho ho, you son of a fish being the kill line?
I enjoyed that.
That's pretty good. But
That's
I needed
alright.
more of those.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Feels like-
it's not an all timer, but I'm like, for the budget level of this movie, it's like, oh, they bought a $5 one with that one. That's fine.
I also wrote down when the parents were the worst characters. The worst. And I had to write down all the character names because I'm like, well, if there's only 9 people in this movie, I need to figure out who they are. So Caroline and Peter.
No. The names. Come on. What are we talking
Mom
about?
and Dad is plenty.
Mom and Dad, uncle, aunt.
When they finally realized, like,
Friend,
oh,
boss.
he was right, and the Santa Claus that he drew has come to life and has started to eliminate members of our family. And Caroline wants to go to the police or get people, and Peter, the father, grabs her by the shoulders and says, Caroline, we need to think about this logically. Great.
I did have a through line of why is the friend the worst character in this movie? Boy, does the friend suck. Oh, good, he died.
Same thing.
I was very pleased by that. Like,
You
it's
didn't
terrible.
like the discussion he had with older brother baseball about nerds versus jocks?
No,
No, I did
worst
not.
scene of the film.
I was, as much as I hated the parents, at least like they were proactive. Eventually, they got guns out and they tried to shoot Santa Claus. The friend just sucks. He's like not. He's supposed to be comic relief. He's never funny. He's supposed to be like believable as basically the creator behind this comic. Didn't believe him for a second. His conversations are never helpful. He's dragging down like our home team where we got our lead kid's potential girlfriend and older brother, and it's like, you're dead weight, bro. And finally the Santa Claus is like, let's get rid of him. Even the friend's like, oh, that sucks, I guess. All right, next scene. What's going on over here? Let's just move on from him pretty quickly. I was pleased by the arc of the movie recognizing that this guy sucks. We need to get rid of him immediately.
Yeah. And
Oh,
when
goodness.
at the end of it, no one checks if he's back. No one cares.
No one
Doesn't
yet.
matter.
Yeah,
we
he's
don't
not
know
part
if
of
he's
that.
returned.
Yeah,
He and
He's
Clark are someplace together.
He's stuck in a Krampus snow globe somewhere.
Clampus.
Clampus.
Thank you.
We gotta keep the theme. Keep
I
the
was
theme
using
going.
my Cajun accent to pronounce it.
Excellent.
I will say, it's not a Christmas line, but I did enjoy right at the very start when the kid gets in trouble for having drawn a caricature of the principal. And when the parents ask him about it, he goes on a small rant about how school uniforms are unjust and a symbol of oppression and that we can't suppress free speech. Like, this is not the right movie for that speech, but I enjoyed it a lot for some reason. Like, it was an early indication, like, okay, this is gonna be that kind of movie. And I kind of wish it had maintained that like level of energy from the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I think that kid was fine.
He's fine. Yeah.
Fine.
Now,
I kept thinking a young Dane DeHaan. You made me think of he's like he's a villain. He's a villain in any other film.
Yeah.
But in
I
this,
actually I thought
hero.
like of the actors, I thought he was fine. I thought that Trackstar Neighbor was fine.
Yep.
No, I think they did their jobs.
Older brother was fine.
Yeah. I thought that Grandpa brought the right energy at least.
Yep.
He had the right energy.
I liked Grandpa. Yeah.
Older brother was the one where I'm like, oh, that actually sucks. Like, I felt bad that happened. Like, of all the deaths in this movie, it's like, oh, that's not great.
Yeah.
Weirdly, the most developed character.
Yeah, but by the time not that it's like, oh boy, the plot twist of this movie, but by the time some things are now, I'm like, oh, he's gonna get them all back. This movie's too friendly of a tone to like leave this kid stranded without a family at the end of the movie.
Yeah. But that's why I don't like that it simply reverses the day. I wanted them all to remember because they're all slightly fractured at the beginning, and kind of at odds. I wanted them to, if he writes, okay, we've defeated Santa Jaws is on the dock, disappears in the green magic puff of smoke. Why are they not all just laying there like, oh my God, can you believe thank God Cody saved us all, and now we've learned
we can
the true
trust
meaning of
him
Christmas,
again.
that we appreciate our family, and Cody's important, and this elf still has no legs, but thank God we're all here together.
Yeah, it's kind of why it's part of the reason why I think Home Alone always suck, because they don't really reckon with the fact that, like, wait, do we not like Kevin, or are we with Kevin? We're just happy we found him. Like, there's no message in the movie. But let me go to this. I assume we've all seen Krampus, right? Have we all seen Krampus?
It's been a long time.
Actually, haven't seen Krampus.
You haven't seen it, Jay?
No, I haven't. There's no sharks in it.
No sharks.
For one thing, you do not know that there's no sharks in it. For one thing, you're guessing.
It's true.
They're land sharks.
I will say there are land sharks in Krampus, so maybe wisen up.
Okay, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah,
but now I don't want to get into this, because I want to get into the ending of Krampus, because I feel like there's similar things you can draw from that ending that would be better applied to this movie. But I don't want to get into it without spoiling it for Jay. So
can I tell you that I'm
glad that you brought that up and check, because I was literally about to go there, because the ending of that movie.
So Matthew, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to do the ending this movie has, but more effectively, I would say.
Why?
There's definitely, without spoiling it,
it's basically your complaint, Jeanette. I mean, that's kind of what we're after here.
Well, the magic pen is written in German, right? Why is the magic pen not cursed by Krampus? Tie this in.
We don't know that it's not, though. In Santa Jaws 2, Mega Claus, as we've established, it could be a reveal.
Follow-up, yes.
Oh my God! And then we cut to Krampus like in his castle, surrounded by sharks for no reason.
Yeah, it's like a Jeepers Creepers ending. There's just a bunch of like dead bodies hanging around.
Just have Krampus show up and like start writing things with the pen to punish them for their transgressions.
That would be naturally that's what I wanted to talk. That's what I was
manufacturing the pens to send them out to kids who have been bad.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I was leading to with my discussion of the Krampus ending. Regardless of that, what would a Santa Jaws 2 be? When did this movie come out? 2018?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about due. any day now, I feel that announcement's about to happen. I assume this movie takes like a week to make, so they can announce it tomorrow and it'd be ready by Christmas. But would a Santa Jaws 2, would it just be like more pens? Would the kid regress and be like, I miss the days of Santa Jaws, and he like goes back to the pen?
The comic book gets published and people take inspiration from it and try to live it out.
Or do we actually introduce another villain in the form of a Krampus Jaws? And
I want another holiday themed sea creature, but I love the idea of it's tricky, right?
Like
because
a giant
another
squid
holiday
that's
theme,
Krampus.
Yeah,
that's Louisiana. We should get crawdads.
I think that you just go the Die Hard 2 route, except you set it in a seaport instead of an airport, and you have him complaining that the same thing's happening to him again a bunch of times.
How can the same magic pen do the same magic thing twice?
Yeah,
Ready
exactly.
Hard and Santa Jaws too. Sure, let's go for it.
I would watch the hell out of that.
It'd be a step up from his fucking Strangers movies, that's for sure. So I would bring him in, please.
The brother is off at college on his baseball scholarship somewhere else, maybe in somewhere in Florida, and then he realizes someone there has a pen and things go awry, and he goes, "I know how to handle this." Or how can this be happening to me again?
Scribble its teeth out.
At one point, he needs help, so he calls his old comic book shop, and it's owned by Reginald Vell Johnson, and he gets some tips that way.
Sends him a fax. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I would watch the hell out of this.
The writer's room here is full of ideas, and most of those ideas, I think, are more entertaining than 80% of this movie. Unfortunately, there's the other, 20% that is worthwhile. The premise is a fun idea. I agree that we have to have the damn hat on the dorsal fin. I like the Christmas accoutrements on the shark. They just didn't use them enough. And I think that we've said enough about this film to honor it to the degree to which is appropriate.
For the listeners just tuning in, Richard just cut out 20 minutes of us discussing more ideas.
I'm just stepping in, trying to rescue our time limitations here. So I'm not even going to ask for final thoughts. I think we've covered this pretty well. Do you have a last comment at all? Last comment.
Is it worth watching? Yeah. Mix this into your between now and Christmas when you're watching a holiday rom-com every night. Add this in. Throw it in. It's a good, palate cleanser between, the Princess Christmas whatever and then that Christmas whatever. And yes, throw it in.
It's worth watching if you're doing something else.
Yes.
Well, it's the kind of film where if you hear the title Santa Jaws and think like, yeah, then it's going to be okay. It's the kind of film where you're going to like it by the title.
Yeah.
I think.
I was going to say that I think that you should definitely at least I personally will probably never watch this again. However, I don't regret having watched it, and I think that everybody probably should watch it because some of you are going to be like me and think, why did I watch this? And some of you are going to be like, this movie was made for me specifically, and thank you for recommending it. And there's really very little middle ground.
I agree with everything Matthew just said. I will say, if you see the title Santa Jaws and you smile, it's probably a movie you'd be at least interested in checking out. It's not as good as something like Velocipaster, but it's doing what it's doing. Last thing I will say, there should have been a scene where a little girl leaves out milk and cookies, and she comes down to see if it's been eaten, and it not only has it not been eaten, but Santa Jaws is there, and Santa Jaws comes and eats the cookies and the girl at the same time and leaves. I'm done. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some kind of
all right.
Mic
drop on Santa Jaws right there from Aaron.
Just like the Kittner boy. It should have eaten the little girl.
And so this is on for films I've covered on a podcast. This is the film that I have spent the most money on to cover on a podcast. Not this one, but on DBC. This film cost me, I think, to convert it, over $60 to watch it.
Okay, you got to tell us this story because this came up earlier.
Entirely
and we
free on Prime, by the way.
Yeah, it's free on Prime
in the US.
Yes,
not in the UK.
The land of the free.
Countries. It's
not on Prime in Canada either. It's on Tubi in Canada. So
not in the UK. The UK. I think it's probably, if you dig into the dark web, it's available there. But I bought a US import 7-film box set that included Santa Jaws. Also includes Ghost Shark, a fantastic film. If you haven't seen Ghost Shark, well worth your time.
Better.
Ghost Shark is better, but also just as stupid. And of course, that was a Region 1 DVD. I don't have a Region 1 DVD player, so I had to buy a DVD player just to watch this film as well. And then that was just for the first time around. To watch it for the second time for this, the TV, the only TV I have that works with the Chinese import DVD player, the power cable blew up. So I had to buy a new power cable to watch it for this podcast. So we're now actually looking about $70 probably.
Oh my goodness.
Just to watch Santa Jaws twice.
I love the idea of going to the
drama and trauma.
The dark
on
web
Jay's attempt to watch this movie than we got in the movie itself.
I love the idea. What'd you see on the dark web? I saw a kid kill a guy. What'd you see on the dark web? Santa Jaws.
He's got bauble teeth and his eyes go red like Rudolph's nose.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here to hear from a fellow Lamb Podcasting Network show, and then we'll be back with our exit question of the week.
Come, it is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
In 1973, a film was released which helped to codify the trappings of the folk horror genre. Now, 50 years later, join me, Tony Cogan, and a different guest each week as we dissect the 1973 cult horror classic The Wicker Man. We'll go through the film one scene at a time and look into the different ways in which the film has been influential over the past few years, the lingering impacts of the music, the production of the film, and examine what led to The Wicker Man enduring for so long. So join me from the 1st of May each week to discuss the film, and to everyone listening, come. It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man podcast.
We're back, and we've been talking about Malignant Shark celebrating the holidays. But there are other holidays and there are other critters out there, and some of them have had movies made about them. And we're looking for recommendations concerning those movies. Jay, of course, has an endless supply of shark movies, but I wonder if he's got any other critters that he could say deserve our time and energy on the silver screen.
Well, the favorite one I came up with was Clampus, which has already been discussed. So that's out there and being made right now. But I think we could have a St. Patrick's Day film called Antiloperecorn. Could be fun. I don't think there's any kind of correlation between antelopes and Island Island, but it doesn't matter. I want a Valentine's Day film called Cupiguana. Again, no correlation. These are all very dumb. I'm fine with that.
So your idea
And
was to
then-
make up versions of these as opposed to just
Yeah,
being
he's going to
actual
produce
movies.
these himself as opposed to
Yeah,
recommending one.
I wish
That's
I
okay.
went this direction with this. I love this.
And then 2 Halloween films, Jack-o'-lantern, and then one that's just about this is Jeanette. This is for Jeanette. It's a bird one. Jack-o'-lantern. Just a turn.
Oh,
Turn.
Just a
There
turn.
you go.
Jack-o'-lantern.
I
It's
like
there.
that.
Okay.
Jeanette likes birds, is what I'm saying.
Yes, I do. Yeah. You know
You
why?
and Hannibal
'Cause
Lecter can walk on the
'cause I-
beach and observe the turns at October.
it's because they're dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs. I like birds. It's real simple.
Hell yeah.
Dinosaurs are birds. I mean, it's just one.
There you go. The math is very clear.
I think I
I
heard
feel
that
like-
quote from Role Models.
I'm gonna jump in here. In a quick effort to be prepared for this question, I just Googled Easter Bunny. Do you realize how many killer Easter Bunny movies there are? I
Oh.
couldn't begin to be prepared. There's
Not
at
just
least a
movies.
dozen that come up very quickly. I'm gonna have to get ready for when we do this for Easter. I will have watched some of these killer Easter Bunny movies that seem very frightening, and maybe I can't watch them. But my goodness, there's a lot of scary Easter Bunny movies out there. I will say that in terms of like other Christmassy themed creature ones, I was surprised last year in watching Red One because I felt obligated to watch Red One, which was fine. I enjoyed it. The Krampus parts of Red One were my favorite thing. Like, I'm not going to pronounce his name correctly, but the red-haired dude from Game of Thrones and everything else. As Krampus in that movie, spectacular. Probably the best version of Krampus on screen to date. There you go.
Christopher Hivju, I think it
That's
is.
him.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he's great in that. He's great in everything. He's always great.
Aaron, you had ideas, real movies, or are you going to make some up too?
Well, I had a real movie, but I now that Jay's done his, I have my fake movie as well. So I'll do the fake movie first. It's called Hanakawala, the Haunted Koala.
Yes. I couldn't come up with a Hanukkah one. That's fantastic. I tried.
It works. It works.
Oh,
Just saying it makes me filled with so much joy. It's about an Australian koala, obviously, that's haunted in some form, and he goes after people on 8 different nights.
8 Nights of Terror.
It's 8. Yeah, that'd be the tagline. 8 Nights of Terror. Hana Koala, the Haunted Koala. So that's
I love that so much.
it's
I was
so
toying
much
with
fun.
Kwanzaa Quokka was what I was debating, but I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
But my actual choice when it comes to holiday themed animal movies, Fantastic Mr. Fox has been my official Thanksgiving film for a while now. And that features an assortment of animals, obviously, but that is I equivalate Thanksgiving with Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox.
There's another country that does not celebrate Thanksgiving, for sure.
I don't care.
No, it's fine.
What other countries?
That's your fault.
Yeah, we're the ones that are only doing it right and doing it better than ever, as far as I'm concerned right now.
How do you celebrate the end of the harvest? What do you got to do?
Yeah, any sort of autumnal holiday you can think of and associate, I would put Fantastic Mr. Fox right there.
We have a harvest festival.
Are you even a country anymore? I don't know what's going on over there.
I don't know. They're like 4.
You got like you have different currencies. UK, British. I don't know what's the difference. It's all over the place.
It's a different podcast.
You're part of some union, but not every union.
Matthew, did you find anything that you want to recommend, or did you come up with something that you would like to invent?
So I couldn't. Yeah, I was thinking about this. I couldn't come up with a good title, but I would really like a Thanksgiving horror movie with a vengeful turkey.
Of course.
Thanksgiving has elements of that.
Or like, a Christmas one with or like you could do a British one where it's like a vengeful goose because turkeys have taken over the dinner.
I like this.
Well, the goose would be happy that turkeys are taking over the dinner for Christmas, surely, because the goose gets to survive. And the turkey.
No, because it's taken its place of honor. It's like a special honor to be eaten, to be the center of attention.
Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a Thanksgiving one here, especially in Wisconsin, where deer suddenly rise up and start eliminating people because the hunting season is so large here. I would like to see that.
Deerzert.
Oh boy.
I mean, you could do one. We could do one up here where we do a Thanksgiving vengeful turkey movie, but then they like realize that in a month it's going to happen again because our Thanksgiving is a month earlier than yours up here.
Yeah, the sequel is automatically written into that.
Well, of course, I took my question seriously to begin with. I was thinking of Groundhog Day, and there's a groundhog, and Prancer, there's a reindeer, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, there's a reindeer. But since we're having so much fun with this, how about hundreds of Arbor Day beavers?
Yeah, love it.
A beaver horror movie.
Oh, there's the Zombievers exist.
Zombievers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You know what? I've seen that.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a lot of fun today talking about
go on,
ridiculous sharks and ideas, premises for ridiculous movies that we'd all like to see, but none of us is ever going to produce because we're just not that motivated. We like the joke, and that's as far as we're going to go.
I would fully draft out.
Aaron shakes his head as if that's not true.
I would fully draft out Hanukkah.
We'll be looking for Hanukkah Koala, soon. Financing on that provided by who? Apparently Warner Brothers and Netflix.
Hey, at the rate we're going with Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, we'll be in the movie producing game in no time.
Excellent. There you are.
The award-winning podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give everybody a chance to promote their award-winning whatever they happen to have. So let's start with Aaron Neuwirth, who has something to brag about. Aaron, tell us what you're up to these days.
What? I mean, yes, I do co-host the podcast Two Black Guys Talk Godzilla, which is an award-winning podcast focused on going over the Godzilla franchise in chronological order. We finished season 1, which was the Showa era, the 60s, 70s Godzilla films. We're approaching season 2 in January, the Heisei era, which will focus on the 80s and 90s. There's also our live LA Comic-Con episode we just released as well. So if you want to check out all things Godzilla related, featuring myself and Terrence Johnson talking about it. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun doing it. Please feel free to subscribe, listen, all that stuff. I also go host Out Now with Aaron and Abe, a weekly movie review podcast that has been going since 2011, which is weird to think about. My friend Abe and I talk about weekly movie releases with various film critics. Jay's been on that show, for example, many number of times at this point. Wow. I am the editor-in-chief at We Live Entertainment. All my movie reviews can be found over there. Everything I do can be found at thecodazeek.substack.com, and I'm on all the socials at Aaron's PS4.
Jeanette, I know we're getting close to your time. Actually, we're past your time, so I want to give you the next opportunity to brag on something.
Oh, I wish I had something to brag on. I'm working on updating the site. So, my movie reviews are over at jwardadventures.blogspot.com, working on getting it. Hey, 2026 goal. I'll have it all updated and get it. Also working on watching as many of the holiday rom-coms as I can to put up a one-sentence review on a lot of those. Although I tell you, I watched the Jonas Brothers holiday whatever on Disney Plus. It's going to be tough to beat that. How charming, how fun. 3 dudes who've been acting with one another almost their whole lives. The jokes are fast. I almost have to watch it again. So there's my quick recommendation. Also, I have to leave today, thanks everybody for keeping it tight, although I don't know how long we can really talk about Santa Jaws because my dance troupe is performing today. So if you want to check out some of our performance videos, you can catch that over at tamarindbellydance.com or look us up on the YouTubes, Tamarind Belly Dance. Follow me on all the socials and I'll post stuff there too.
Very nice. Matthew, how about you?
So I mainly write freelance and appear on podcasts. So the easiest way to find me is to check out my personal portfolio site, which is stretched.ca. Recently, I've written about a number of movies and covered a number of festivals. And also, it's year-end time, so I'm a member of a couple different critics groups, including the International Film Society Critics Association, which is a mouthful, and also the Cascadia Film and Television Critics Association, which I co-founded, and we're about to have our year-end lists being published. So go look for those things. You can find them by finding me on socials as well. I am at SmatthewAF in most of the places.
Jay, are we deeper or bluer?
What? I don't know. Deeply Seen the Podcast, an award-eligible podcast, is covered. Has received no awards. Has been going for 5 times as long as Aaron's podcast, and that's fine. His is better. And I assume I haven't listened because I haven't watched any Godzilla films. When you get to Godzilla versus Biollante, I will listen to that one because I've seen that one.
That's coming. That's like 3 or 4 weeks away.
Hey, I check every week. I check the app. It's like, haven't got to it yet. I'll just keep waiting. I could look up when. Anyway, Deeply Seen the Podcast is where we cover all kinds of shark and aquatic and Rennie Harlin themed films. There'll be Strangers Chapter 2 will be coming up soon, just as soon as Mark and I can actually watch it. We're the only Rennie Harlin covering podcast in the entire world. We both went on holiday for 1 week, and that was the 1 week Strangers 2 was in the cinema. So we haven't seen it yet. It's some kind of global conspiracy to get us to not watch the fourth Strangers film. Anyway, so yeah, go back to 2011 and 2021, and find the Santa Jaws episode with Lisa Leahy, which is longer than this one, despite just 2 of us being on it. And lifeversusfilm.com is my personal site where there's various reviews. This year has mainly been Spielberg and David Lynch blind spots. And everyone on this show has been on my podcast. Jeanette will be on in January for Piranaconda, another all-time classic with a theme song. Better than Santa Jaws because it has a theme song. Yeah, that'll do.
I can't believe that you went on holiday and didn't go to a movie. I know that you go into nature on your holidays.
I went to an island with no cinema and I got stranded there by a storm.
Yeah, that's not a holiday. That's a nightmare. Sorry about that.
You got 28 years later?
That's a movie.
Pretty much. But Strangers Chapter 2 was going to be playing. I was supposed to get back Sunday night, and there was one showing I was going to be able to get back in time to see. And then there was a storm that stuck us on the island for an extra day. And so by the time I got back, the film didn't exist anymore.
I mean, it sounds like you won in this scenario here.
I've seen to see it for the podcast.
You could probably make up a better movie in your head than what Strangers Chapter 2.
We did that today with Santa Jaws. So.
Well, on my Thanksgiving holiday, I drove back to California, spent a week with my family, and still managed to get in 2 films.
Wow.
Zootopia 2, which is perfectly fine. It's a great kids film. I don't care about it very much, but it was entertaining. I went with my grandniece and nephew are whatever it is, 8 and 4.
Okay.
They were not enthralled with the movie. The adults enjoyed it more than the kids did. So
wow,
maybe they embraced the themes of gentrification and discrimination more.
That's it. That's it. That's probably it. And the snake pit. Anyway. And then Sisu, The Road to Revenge, is coming soon on my site with extensive commentary about the bloody mayhem that ensues. And when you basically make the same movie again with a slightly different villain, but a bigger budget, all good. So I want to thank everybody for showing up this week and appreciate all of you folks for spending time with us on Santa Jaws. Happy holidays, folks. And, I don't know if you should stay out of the water, but you should definitely not pick up a strange pen with German writing on it and start drawing pictures of dangerous things. Thanks, everybody.
You've been listening to the Lambcast. If you have an idea for a show or would like to join us on the Lambcast, contact us at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Find us on Facebook, just search for Lambcast, or on X, formerly Twitter, at Lambcast. And you can find us on YouTube as well. The Lamb site can be found at largeassmovieblogs.com. We'd also love it if you would leave a review on iTunes.
It's